Boxing waits for no one. The clock and time ticks in boxing, and careers come and go. But when a fighter reaches the twilight of his career, like Regis Prograis, you find that you could have done some things a little bit different. You find that you wish you had a little bit more time, because just with a different mental approach and physical approach, you may be able to state your claim, and now all of a sudden, legacy means so much more. According to Ring Magazine, Regis Prograis has had a conversation with someone important in the sport of boxing. A conversation with Crawford. Terrence Bud Crawford convinced Regis to take the Conor Benn fight. Now that's interesting. And in an article that was released March 4th, 2026 by Keith Idec, Regis Prograis trusted what another former junior welterweight champion told him about moving up in weight when he contemplated accepting his fight with Conor Benn. Prograis tried to get Benn to fight him at the welterweight limit of 147 pounds and then 149 pounds. Benn wouldn't budge off of a contracted catch weight of 150 last week. Nor would the British star agree to a rehydration restriction for fight night. The weight limit for Prograis' previous fight was 142 pounds, but boxing Benn, who's now 24 wins, 1 loss, 14 KOs on the Tyson Fury Arslanbek Makhmudov undercard on April 11th at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London, was an opportunity too good for Prograis to turn down. An informative conversation brought Prograis, whose 30 wins, 3 losses, 24 KOs that he had with Terrence Crawford a couple of months ago, helped him be convinced that the New Orleans native looked beyond Benn's weight advantage and realized experience and skills could help the two-time junior welterweight champ beat Benn next month. I spar bigger guys all the time, Prograis told the Ring, and I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to shout out Terrence Crawford. I talked to him, and this was actually before the Benn fight got made. I asked him how did he take those shots from Canelo, and he said because he got to keep his weight, basically, and he wasn't fighting Conor Benn. He fought Canelo. I understand he's Terrence Crawford and how great he is, but still he fought Canelo and went up 2 divisions, and he still won and he still dominated. And I said, how did you take those shots, man? It looked like you ate the shots from Canelo. And he said it really was the weight. He said he got hurt one time in his career by Gamboa, and that's because he was too small. Then he went up in weight. Crawford came back to stop Cuba's Gamboa in the 9th round of their June 2014 fight for Crawford's WBO lightweight title. The Omaha, Nebraska native eventually became undisputed champion in the junior welterweight division and welterweight divisions before he moved up from junior middleweight to super middleweight for his showdown with Alvarez on September 13th at a sold-out Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. The Mexican icon never hurt Crawford, whose record now is 42-0 with 31 KOs, who outboxed Alvarez, won a unanimous decision, and took the Ring IBF, WBA, WBC, and WBO 168-pound championships from him. The super middleweight limit is closer to the weight at which Crawford walks around than any of the divisions in which the since retired 5-weight champ previously competed. Prograis' natural weight is in the 160s, which makes him confident he'll be able to take Benn's best shots in a fight against with Netflix will stream worldwide. When you spar all these big guys, you don't get hurt. So it's the same thing in the fight, Prograis said. If you keep your natural weight, you'll be good. I spar real big guys in the gym, and I'm cool. You know, the punches don't hurt me at all. So I take that into consideration. Like sometimes it's just the weight. This conversation with Crawford was maybe like 2 months ago or something like that. This was before I even knew about Conor Benn, but this is what made me take it. Benn, who's 29, is the ring's 4th-ranked middleweight contender after avenging his unanimous points loss against English rival Chris Eubank Jr. in their 12-round rematch November 15th at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. He hasn't weighed in at less than 150.5 pounds for a fight since April 2022, when Benn got down to 146.5 pounds. Prograis, 37, briefly boxed in the welterweight and junior middleweight divisions very early in his career. Mostly, though, he's fought at or near the junior welterweight maximum of 140 pounds for the past 11 years. You see, this article is stating something that goes right along with what we're reading as a transition in the sport of boxing. And that transition happens to have fighters who are now making the proper adjustments for their careers, accepting fights that may ordinarily been a situation that they've passed up in the past, or as a stepping stone to get to a different place in their careers. You see, there's no reward without a bit of risks, you see, and in boxing, the greater risk is typically taking a loss. But losses can be turned into lessons, and lessons can turn into mastery of what you do not want to fall privy to again, right? So, with that being said, to go ahead with the fight with Conor Benn, Regis has to think about the most important thing, taking care of himself. And he has to understand that at 37, he may not have to run out during the field and try to outrace the younger Benn. But he may want to set traps for Benn and let him know that he has now entered the real lion's den. But will he be able to do that? It remains to be seen. Personally, I believe that Regis has a 50-50 chance of winning this fight against Conor Benn. And the 50-50 comes because Benn is not really a true championship caliber fighter, even though he had the 2 fights against Chris Eubank Jr. The consensus is that he's ready for a title shot, but he hasn't even competed in a division where he says that he wants to win a title. And this fight is not for a title again. So when will Benn, at 29, going on 30, fight for a title? Regis could dine on this situation and truly elevate himself. The 3 losses that he has in his career have seen him in against the best. Going back, when you think about his loss to Josh Taylor, that was a fight when they competed for the undisputed title. And that takes you all the way back to October of 2019. Then it was back-to-back losses to Devin Haney in December of 2023, and then Jack Catterall in October of 2024. Has Regis learned? He should have, and he's been well preserved since his comeback victory in August of 2025 against Jojo Diaz. He won a unanimous decision. So, he should get in there against Benn and show what he's truly made of. But what do you think? This is Stormy B Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know what your thoughts are about Regis's chances in his upcoming April 11th bout against Benn. And will he be ready for the challenge on that night? And what could be afterwards if he's successful? Leave comments and let's discuss further. Peace to everyone out there, and everyone please remain safe.